All right, welcome everybody to our latest episode of FK Chat. We've got a couple of things we want to come over, but first and foremost, slight delay on getting a podcast out this week, and this time it's all my fault. My kids, who are probably in the background somewhere making noise, but they've got chicken pox, so I'm under. What am I under, Ben? Quarantine?
Lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the video quality is not going to be great. The audio quality is going to be hit or miss. I'll see what I can do in post-production.
Am I squared up enough in this?
Yeah, we don't want to see your balls. Like, do you know what I mean? Lift it a bit higher, like, because you're sat such a hippie. He's sat cross-legged. Oh, no, it's not your legs. So there we go. No, that's fine.
It was. You're right. I'm cross-legged.
There you go. All right. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, I think we just wanted to kind of jump into a couple of things. What's going on with the league? Had a few basketball reporters reach out to us. Is that probably the best way to put things, Ben?
I have no idea what you're talking
about. So the last one that we actually jumped on, the last podcast, we mentioned that we were working towards the BCB program, and it's getting there slowly. It's going to take a little bit of work and stuff, but things are progressing nicely. Bringing obviously a professional program to Cardiff, based out of Cardiff, running from a very nice place, which I won't mention as of yet, but we're in advanced talks. So we're like I said, we're hoping to have an announcement and have everything finalized, and a couple of other things that we're working on at the moment in terms of what's the word I want to look for, in terms of what we're going to be doing in terms of structure as well. So we'll go over a couple of things, because we had our AGM, both for our charity arm and for the club as well, because there's it's a lot of the similar sort of people. So we had two different meetings there. But yeah, we just wanted to go over, first and foremost, a couple of things. I've had a couple of messages and emails to me directly. I don't know about you, Ben. Did you have anything from the last?
Well, yeah, I guess loads of conversations with people, I suppose, but nothing like what you're talking about. I'm interested to hear what you're saying.
Okay, I'm interested to hear what you're saying as well, because it's always nice to, when you have a shit sandwich, start with something nice and then the crap and then wherever. But all right, we'll just start with what I've got. So basically, I've had a couple of messages saying, and yeah, but it wasn't critical. It was just, why don't you get somebody on from the SWBA to discuss our criticisms of it?
Our criticisms?
I want to get on some people, from the SWBA, whoever wants to represent it, great. As long as it's not like the usual, like Gavlu. Look, Gavlu just bust his ass for the SWBA. Who's making those decisions behind there to say, oh yeah, we're gonna get rid of this or whatever. Whoever wants to come on, whatever. If you're going to represent SWBA, you know what we're going to go on. In terms of what I wanted to kind of get into this year, I wanted to talk about some of our favorite teams. But before we do that, let's take a quick look. Cougars now sit top of the table in D1. They are 5-5. Cardiff City have dropped to 5th. We're 6-3. RCT is still 6-0, but sit 4th. Bather are 3rd with 4-5, and Caerphilly Cobras are 4-5 as well. And then Swansea Storm, who were 4-4, 6th, and ABC Gwent with 1-9. So we had to forfeit again. Yeah, there was basically the guys didn't turn up on time.
We've lost twice since last week when we did that. We got 2 more losses. We were 6-1 last week. We're 6-3 now.
So I think we forfeited Caerphilly Cobras. The guys just couldn't be asked. I think, to be honest, speaking from just the city's perspective, the whole debacle with the cup really took the wind out of our sails with the guys.
I don't know.
You can talk about that.
I think it's just we prioritize I think we prioritize National League, and because of that and a lot of different other reasons, we've got guys traveling from further afield, and they can't always make it for some of the games in the season, but the Welsh League games. But I think this is more about timing. NBL, we had quite a busy schedule second half of the year. Guys were really focused on that, and the development in that. And I don't think guys probably feel they're better served either resting or working out at this time now, ready for next season, rather than playing SWBA. That's how I might feel if I was playing right now, the way it's set up.
I completely understand. However, from from a club perspective, priority is always given to every competition we're in. We're trying to win it, right? And it really took the wind out of our sails with the cup situation, as you kind of rightly mentioned there. Um, but the league's the structure that it is great, fantastic. But I wanted to talk a little bit about um, some positives, which you're going to be like, what? Corin talking about positives. I wanted to talk about um, basically what our favorite teams are, some MVPs that we've come across.
That sounds
Um,
cool.
so for D1, let's start with D1 because, like, obviously you got exposure in there as well. What's been your um, favorite team to play against? Not necessarily the best team, not whatever, but and give you reasons for that.
Okay. Um, well, usually it would be RCT, but we didn't play them this year, so we'll count them out. So we'll go. It's hard. I like all the teams. They're all good teams, KC. If I had to pick one, maybe Kenfig. I like chatting to Ryan, you know.
Yeah,
But in terms of on
Campford's
the
been
court,
good.
in terms of on court, which is what I care about the most, it's only ever going to be RCT. To be honest, they're always great games when we
They,
play
they,
them with
they're
two
they're
full
the best
teams.
team, right? Do you see them as the best team in the league?
They're the best team, but favorite team is different, obviously. But then you said who's the favorite team to play against, and if it's in terms of actual competition, it's always going to be RCT until other teams get up to that kind of level, or different teams join.
For me, my favorite team, my favorite club across all the strands that I've refed in and been involved in has been Bather this year.
Shout out to Pete
And yeah, massive shout out to Pete. He just does it year in, year out. I'd love to get him on the podcast and
for
hear his
sure.
story. I think it would inspire a lot of the younger clubs to see, what I mean, what works, what doesn't work, what's going on. Um, he's been fantastic, right? He's been incredible from that side. Um, just his level of positivity and passion. Um, and then, yeah, I'd agree with you. Cougars is always good to play against. They always play hard. You know what I mean? They're not afraid to mix it up. Um, and I really enjoy obviously speaking with the guys because we know the guys quite well. We know the guys quite well across most teams.
I
Uh,
like Philly too, to be honest. I always
yeah,
enjoy seeing the Philly
yeah,
guys, all
it's
those
like
guys.
a family thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a family thing up there. Um,
Philly are
I,
cool.
re- I really liked Swansea this year, both in D2 and in D1.
I didn't see
Um,
them in D1. I think they've rearranged both the games as it stands, or whatever.
Yeah, I think they should have been forfeit. We're having conversations with the league because they let us know at the last minute. They the league again, administration, they keep emailing the charity account. And 2 seasons ago, I said, look, stop emailing this address. It's not for SWBA. I don't use it for SWBA. I don't have I can't stay on top of essentially somebody else's job, which is other people within our club. Um, they said, oh, we sent an email to this, and I was like, and Jeff was like, but that's not the email address. We've told you this.
Hmm.
So, whatever. So we're working on that, whatever the situation is. But I really liked, I think Connor Lomond is, and I hope I'm saying his
Connor
name right.
Lamond. I used to coach him
Lamond.
for Swansea College back in the day. He's a great kid, great man now,
Wow.
should I say? He was a kid back then.
Fantastic player.
Great player,
Fantastic player.
great
Yeah.
guy too.
Him.
Really nice guy.
Yeah. Like all the guys on there are just super professional, like can shoot the lights out. And you know what I mean? They will take 99% of teams to the end. You know, they just work hard, and they just got a great attitude. I really like Swansea Storm. I used to coach Swansea Storm in their first season. Obviously, I was a terrible coach, so we won't
No
go into
comment.
that. But they just, yeah, they're doing incredible things. Really, really impressed with them. Really disappointed, although I really like ABC Gwent, but I just think they're totally out of their depth in D1.
They're my actual
Absolutely.
favourite team, of course.
Yeah. Okay. They're your favorite team.
Andy St John, obviously, as you know. But one of my closest friends, you said you don't know him, Jamie Bees. You should know who that is, but you obviously don't. But,
I do, but I just the name and the face just like in my head, you know. I probably speak to him all the time. So apologies, Jamie, if I keep screwing it up.
Yeah, he
Uh,
watches as well. He always watches the podcast. So
Shout out Jamie Bees. What a
there we
guy. Let's
go.
get a picture up here for him, yeah?
Yeah, please do.
Uh,
I'll send you a classic photo.
Brilliant. We'll get that in here now. But yeah, a bit disappointed with those guys. I think, but for me, Bather have just been standout this year. They, you know, like I said, they're almost at 500. They're sitting third in the league right now, with only a few games left to play. And I think that they're a legit team. They picked up. I think they've got a Canadian on their team. They work really
Okay.
really hard. Um, you know, when they get going and they've got a full squad, you know, they're gonna, you know, you're gonna. I won't say struggle against them, but yeah, yeah, I think that's the right way. Teams are going to struggle against them because they're just going to keep going. They never take the foot off the gas again. So yeah, I really enjoyed kind of these teams this season. For me, next question, SWBA D1 MVP.
I don't even think there is one.
Has to be.
Well, got to be someone on RCT then. They're 6-0, but that's the
Got to be
same.
Reese.
It's always Reese or Owen or Lloyd sometimes. Or it's always one of them usually.
I haven't seen Lloyd a huge amount this year. I've seen Owen and
Okay.
Reese, and they've held it down. They've got some great players on their team as well. They've really bolstered their roster.
I haven't
I
seen
think
them, to be full disclosure, I haven't seen them at all this season.
I've
I'm
done a
just going
few
on
games.
years and years and years of history, you know. So
Reese is standout for me. So shout out
Reese is still
Reese.
doing it, yeah. That's good to hear. That's good to
Wow,
hear. 'Cause he's the oldest as well. He's the oldest
yeah,
of the four. So good on him.
yeah, he's still shooting the lights out.
Nice.
He's still got like a nice little hezzy and attacks the basket.
Nice. He's nice.
Um,
I tried to get Owen to play for us maybe a couple of years back or a year back.
yeah,
But, you know,
it's the
didn't
travel,
go
man.
anywhere. Yeah, travel.
We've all tried, man. They're just a
Yeah.
fantastic unit. Those brothers are just, they're doing their thing. So yeah, shout out Reese because I think, without a doubt, he's probably MVP of the league because I
Who's
don't
the let's go non-RCT, non-City MVP? Who would that be? You've seen more games than me, but I think that would be interesting.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Potentially Jack Parfit for Caerphilly Cobras.
He's been injured all season though, right?
That's what I'm saying. Potentially it could have been him, but he has been injured all season. Um, there's a young lad on Cougars, and there's a young lad for Swansea as well, and they shoot
Isn't
the
it?
lights up, and I don't know their names.
Okay, fair. Okay, what about no one on Beaver you want to shout out? You gave a lot of love to Beaver.
Yeah, but like league MVP, like they've got to really be standout, like carry that team, kind of like how Reese does with RCT. If Reese isn't there, RCT or Owen as well, RCT are going to struggle. Um, the big guy for Caerphilly Cobras, um, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's like a good 6'6", 6'7",
I think I know who
rebounds.
you're talking about. Did he used to play for
Yeah,
some other teams?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
He's quite
okay.
lanky.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
tall, skinny, but he's strong. He's strong. He's a good player.
He's not British, right? Or he is British?
No, he is. Yeah, he's Welsh. He's Welsh. He's
Okay.
definitely Welsh. Um,
I'll have to look out for him if we play SWBA next season, but it's a big if right now, I guess.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's happening there.
So
BCB,
Reese
have
is
you
the
been?
MVP, and who was the team? We didn't do the team. We just did our favorites. Okay, so Reese is MVP. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, for me, for sure. National League, who stood out for you in National League apart from City?
In D2, yeah, our league.
Yeah, D2, yeah.
Well, obviously Gloucester. They were 18-0. They were really, really, really good. But we spoke about all that, haven't we? And a lot about
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
players wise, though, I guess there's, well, the big guy from Gloucester. He was one of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best players.
The American was real good. Yeah,
Cooper,
fantastic player.
Cooper, obviously one of the best players in the league this season for sure.
I I would, yeah, I potentially put Cooper as MVP this season.
In D2,
Yeah.
yeah, I could
I
see
could-
that. Who else would you have to consider? I think that the guard from Portsmouth's really good. You didn't go to either of those games. The tall,
No,
dark-haired guard from Portsmouth. He's
I
nice.
watched the games. I watched the games. I did
Yeah,
watch them.
he might not stand out too much on tape, but both games he's really nice. I was just thinking, I'm trying to go through the teams in the order that it was Gloucester, then Bath, then Portsmouth, and then
I
Plymouth.
think, yeah, I think the only thing that goes against Matt McCardle, I think that's correct.
That's
I've
not
got him
that's
correct.
not his name's not Matt. His name is I'm going to butcher this, but it's spelled, I think it's like Kekoa or something like that. I'm not. That's
Uh,
the truth.
okay, right. So the big guy
The big
from
guy from Gloucester,
Gloucester.
McCardle is his surname though. Yeah,
Okay, he is the only thing that goes against him in that is they were a stacked team, and he was, the best of that, but they were a stacked team. Do you know what I mean? He
yeah.
didn't he didn't completely carry that team. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's fair. That's fair.
Where I feel like Cooper really carried back. He's the man there, right? And
They do have a couple other guys that I want to make sure we shout out. They know who they are, but yeah, Cooper probably had to carry more of a load than anyone on Gloucester. Yeah,
yeah, and he's got several levels to him as well, Cooper, both inside and out and fast break. So I think I'm happy with saying that Cooper's probably MVP for us for D2 without a doubt. And when they send the things through, I think that's where it'd be. Coach of the year?
it might be Cooper. Yeah, I guess based on the games I've seen or heard about and the numbers I've seen, I would probably give it to Cooper as well. It seems like the logical choice. Coach of the year, indeed too. I probably would go with Jay Marriott with Gloucester, because they went 18-0, and it's not just like they had a lot of talent. He did have a lot of good stuff going on, a really nice modern offense, and the pick and roll coverage was really good too. So and they all their main guys showed up for every game, so they must be enjoying their basketball somewhat, because a lot of times availability in this league is one of the important things. Because the coach get everyone together.
Yeah,
And obviously he could
100%.
this season. So I'll go with Jay, but I
Uh,
also shout and I'll let you go. Sorry, brother. But I also shout Antonio as well from Bath because he's a great coach.
I'm going to shout out somebody who's going to be controversial, but everybody who knows me will probably go, "Yeah, we knew you were going to do that." But I think Gaz Laws needs a shout out on this. Maybe Jay Marriott gets it because his team has just done incredible. But Gaz Laws, with an aging team, has finished what, top three, top
They
four?
they finished fourth, but they were the same record as the team that finished third.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That is hard because there wasn't a huge influx of high level players coming in apart from the guys who are coming back, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they've held it down and they've ground out that position. They topped us as well, which was incredible. So I think he's definitely needs a shout out there because I think what he's done there is fantastic. For me in SWBA, coach of the year, probably Ryan Chambers with Cougars. I just think he's just done a fantastic job. They super competitive this year. Even though I think he's had a few technicals and sportsman likes, but he's done a real
Sounds
job in
about right.
bringing. So for me, it would be Ryan Chambers from Cougars, Coach of the Year. What about yourself?
Um, I don't know about Ryan Chambers, Coach of the Year this year, but in like Ryan's been doing that for years and years and years. They're doing a great job, building the whole thing up. So that's credit to him for being doing it for so long. No idea about this season. I guess they're 5-5, so they're top of the table. So you could give it to Ryan.
Let's
I'm not
talk.
sure how much Ryan might be different, but I'm not sure how much coach it real coaching is going on in D1 a lot of the time, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not in the other team's huddles. You know,
Yeah. Um, Under 18s. So let's just touch on the juniors briefly. Um, Archers are probably my junior or under 18s team of the year. I know they're top of the league as well, and I'm not just saying that. I think they've got some serious talent there. They're 7-2, sitting top of the league
who's their
quite
coach?
comfortably.
Oh, this is
Uh,
this is SWBA, is it? I thought you were
yeah.
talking. I thought you were going to talk about the interesting one, the Southwest Conference, because Met won that as well. Remember, it was
Okay.
Met. It was Met. It was Met, Vale, and Hewish from Taunton. Do you remember we spoke about it briefly back in a
Yeah.
couple of episodes ago? And Met
Yeah. I'm
actually ended up winning.
okay. So again, I think Met. If we just go National League, then so we're chopping and changing, but Cardiff Met a National League. I think they're doing a fantastic job. They've got a young coach there. Um, Definitely very passionate, cares about his guys. Um, I think that they've got some fantastic players in their junior program right now, um, and yeah, they just got this stuff together. Um, they really got this stuff together. So I think that, and in terms of under 18s, um, South Wales again, it would be Met. Although the best technical record in under 18s is Pontypridd Panther, who are 6-0. So
This is SWBA, yeah.
yeah, under 18s.
That's still
So
yeah, that's a good record. Are all the National League guys playing in SWBA? Do you know?
I couldn't comment on that one,
Okay,
but they're
because that's
doing
a big
they're doing
difference.
some bits. Yeah, they did like across the board. Archer's doing really well across the board there.
Vale had a really
Um,
good season with Nick Bakvachev, one of our guys. Close to my
National
heart.
League, not local league. Local league, they're right at the
No,
bottom.
no,
But
national. Yeah, sorry. We're chopping and changing, as you said. I'm still talking National League, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
um, National League. Nick's solid. He's passionate. He's implementing. He's really put his stamp on that team as well. You know how they run their sets, how they what I mean overcome adversity. When we played them, it was a back and forth game, very close with our
Yeah,
first
at
team
home.
under
I
18s,
remember. Yeah,
and they took the win. I think it was 6, 7, 8
yeah.
points, something like that. But they did really well, and I think that was down to a lot of the changes that Nick made in there. Okay.
Our juniors are my favorite junior team of the year, though, for sure.
Yeah, they're just a lot more fun. I mean, like, we're gonna
They're
be
good
biased.
people. We're super biased. I don't know the other junior teams players besides the coaches, but our juniors are just solid stand-up guys. All of them good people,
Yeah. Fantastic. All right.
which is
Some
the
one
most
of
important thing in the end, Casey. Some might say.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like, in terms of our under 18s next year now, and our under 16s, our I think we may only run one under 18s team next year, but we'll see. If there's demand for two under 18 teams, we will. But we're actually running a second men's team, and that is to give um, guys who are coming up from the junior programs, whether it's Vale, Archers, wherever, and they want to compete at
A
men's
second
national.
NBL. Yes, there you go. You didn't say NBL to start with. A second NBL men's team this season coming.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So the second NBL team will be made up of people coming up, or maybe you've done a year or two in senior programs, and they really want to kind of focus on National League. We're going to be entering those guys as well. Amin is moving from the junior program to the senior program now. Which is going to be fantastic for him in terms of development, and there's a whole bunch of things that we've got to do with him as well.
It's going to be great to have
Um,
two men's teams. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, I think that that will really help. Under 18s, depending on the demand, we may run one or two again. Um, Under 16s is a big change there. So finalizing on under 18s, Coach Esan. So I think everybody else knows him as Coach Hicks. He will be taking over the under 18s National League program. Um,
Yeah, that's cool for
and
him too. That's really cool for him to be able to step up and do it himself, and
yeah,
it's really cool.
big commitment. It's a big
Big
commitment. It is
commitment.
not.
Yeah,
And then the under 16s, we may run a national league and a local league, depending on what comes through the door. But we can exclusively reveal we have a new coach, a person who may not be playing men's national league next year, probably won't be. Um,
that's
it
sad
will
to
be
hear.
Berwyn's,
Bittersweet.
yeah, yeah. Berwyn Wilkes will be transitioning to our junior program. So he'll be working with a lot of 14 plus players at that crucial age.
He'll be great at
Ber-
that as well.
Berwyn is super professional, played at a high level,
Knows
nose
the
to the
game.
grindstone, doesn't cheat the game. You know what I mean? He
Mhm.
does all
Mhm.
of the fundamentals, and he's got national league, high level national league
For sure.
experience that he can help develop these youngsters. Coming from
For
Bristol and the
sure.
programs he's had over there, but the last 5-10 years he's been with us, and he's made a real impact. And he's taken that next step into coaching now. So bittersweet,
Bittersweet for sure, but he's gonna be great. But yeah, it is bittersweet. Yeah.
but it's amazing as a club because to have that level or that quality of player slash coach bringing the youngsters along. Look, this is what works. This is what doesn't work. This is what you got
For
to,
sure.
somebody who's doing it right now. Probably still could continue doing it for a couple of more years to be your coach.
That's why it's
Is
bittersweet, because he could
yeah,
definitely still play, and if he actually prioritized playing and trained twice a week and all that, he'd probably be really good again, be way better than he was this season. Although he was good, it took him a little while to get into it and get his legs, because he's just training once a week and then playing a game on the weekend.
yeah,
But it is great news for the club, and he's gonna be really good doing that. So yeah, it's all good.
yeah, amazing. The other thing to talk about is the Wells brothers,
Yeah, did you
Michael
see
and
he's out in
David.
Lithuania? Mike's in
Yeah,
Lithuania, isn't he? I've seen on the BW side he had 12 points and 6 assists in one of the games. So
second
shout out,
leading
Mike.
scorer. Yeah,
Shout
second
out to
leading
shout out
scorer.
to Mike on that. Good on him, man. Good to see.
So Michael Wells will be playing in our first team. That's the plan. He's got to put in the work as well to keep his spot there, but he'll be playing men's next year. I think he's just turned 16, 17.
Hopefully, if he takes care of business, hopefully he'll be playing in the first team.
That's the plan. That's what I'm saying, right?
We
That we
want him to be in the first team next season for sure.
Yes.
But
Uh, so that's going to be incredible. Bringing a junior up that young into D2 men's is something that we haven't done, I think, ever, to be honest.
it's gonna be great.
So he'll be the youngest player that we've ever had playing at that level. So we're really excited about that. Um, the other thing was Dave Wells. Dave Wells just killed it at Richards Elite. The league. Did you see this? Richards Elite basketball? No? Oh, it's like a
Richards,
high. I don't know what it is, man. Somebody schooled me up to it. I don't know, but
okay,
they did it incredible. They did it incredible. Well, he did incredible there. So shout out to Dave. Both the brothers within 24, 48 hours of each other, just killing it on the socials with the
okay,
work they're doing. Dave's
okay,
just playing at another level. Dave is looking for a pro contract at the moment. He's trying to get a few things going as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to offer him something if and when we can get this BCB program. I don't have input on who goes on the court though, so I can't say that for certain. But that would be amazing. So yeah, super happy about him. I'm not sure if we mentioned in the last podcast actually, and there's a big shout out to Jake. Jake and Exeter won D3. So, Jake's going to be back up into D2
You're not
again
sure if
next
we've
year.
mentioned on the last podcast. We mentioned Jake on every single podcast. What are you talking
What? What are you
about?
saying? What's going on?
I
What?
said I gave Jake a glowing compliment last time, so it's all good.
Shout out, Jake. I love
Shout
you.
out to Jake. Yeah, it's always love for Jake. Always love.
So yeah, so that's where we're at in terms of the changes and some of the structure that we're doing. Um, BCB is just to kind of touch on that. BCB looks a bit mad at the moment, and I'll come back to D1 NBL in a second.
We did
Um,
that. We did NBL last week. Surely it's not going to.
yeah,
We
there
got
was a finals weekend, I think there was, and
okay. Okay.
I think Wolverhampton took it. Um, but BCB Reading Rockets, 1 game ahead of Newcastle Knights in
Okay.
BCB.
Okay.
And then at the other end, Bristol Flyers with 0 wins.
Hopefully, we'll get
Hurricanes,
to see most of these teams in Cardiff next year. Hopefully, everyone will get to
yeah,
see them.
yeah, amazing. Yeah, so Reading Rockets, yeah, incredible. Newcastle Knights, just one game away. So it's what is it? I think they've got like 2 more games to play. Everybody's got 2 to 3 games to play. It's like 26 games.
Okay.
Um, Bristol Hurricanes, they are sitting at 5 wins. Then Loughborough Rider 1 game ahead at 6. Hemel 1 game ahead at 7 wins. And then Essex Rebels 2 games ahead. And then it levels out. Then it goes Worthing Thunder at 10. And then every other team then is 13, 13, 14, 14, 17, 17. Birmingham Rockets look amazing. I think they won the BCB Cup final against
Right.
Yorkshire Dragons. So they've
Okay.
won the first ever BCB trophy. So shout out
Yeah.
to
Do they
Birmingham
have
Rockets.
Do they have relegation in the BCB?
No, not for the first year or two. I don't think first couple of
Okay.
years anyway, because
Okay.
I think that they're the top flight. So I don't know if there's going to be a transition
Mhm.
between
Got you.
NBL and that. But there's a big gap, man. Like
Okay.
considering
Okay.
Bristol Flyers won, you know, what was essentially D1 last year,
Yeah.
um, and they're struggling right now with the same squad, and I'm sure they'll get stronger. They've had some close games. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're getting completely blown out in every game, but there are a lot of games where they're losing by 10, 20, 30, 40 points. um Hurricane, like the whole bottom third of that division is not near the you know what I mean, the top half, or the top 3 teams.
Okay.
um they may have close games, but as this, when BBL split off from NBL many years ago, when it used to be Budweiser, I guess, or whatever. But when they split off, you have the first couple of years where everybody's adjusting to the new system, to the new league, and everybody's bringing their standard up. I'm sure if Bristol Flyers came back into NBL, they'd wipe the floor with everybody. You know, there's no doubt in my mind. You can't play at that high level for like 6, 7 months of the year, train
Mhm.
and play at that high level, and then go down and not do well.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that they would, if they keep all of their guys, right. That's the main thing. Um, Last season, just to bring it to home, last season the squad we had to the squad we had this season was completely different, and the squad we had the year before to the squad we had last season was different again. So it's really hard to maintain that. So I'm hoping now with everything that we're doing in the junior stuff, it will kind of stabilize and go through that. Archers have done,
Even at the highest levels, you never retain everybody year to year.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. Like, I don't have experience at that highest level, but
Same.
I'm hoping I'm hoping to learn. I'm hoping to learn, if we can get things off the ground. Um, I think that's it. I think I think we had some odd questions come through. Some of the odd questions. What is it that you do? So that was directed at, I think, both of us. So do you want to start? What is it that you actually do as a job outside of basketball?
is that
How
is
do
that
we
what
have so much time to kick off with
is that what the
basketball?
is that what the question was? What do you? That could just be an insult. Like, what do you? Like, that might just be a
No, 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 no. They're
flippant.
asking like the job. I haven't got it on me now, but essentially, what do you do for work? Essentially,
Oh, okay. You going first?
You go first. I talk too much, so you go first.
Okay. Well, majority of my income comes from cutting hair. I'm a barber and I work for myself, so that's where the majority of my income comes from.
How's that going? You've been doing it for a couple of years, so you're obviously quite successful in what you do.
So I wouldn't know, I don't know about all that, but I've been doing it for yeah quite a number of years now, and it depends on
Fantastic.
it depends on how you're measuring things, brother, doesn't it? I'm blessed to be able to pick my own schedule and work for myself for a living. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
amazing,
Oh.
amazing, amazing. So for myself, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? No, so I've got a couple of businesses. Um, I run an IT recruitment company. Um, been doing that for a number of years. Um, been been very blessed that that kind of ticks along. Does its stuff. Have your ups and downs. Like last year was really bad, really terrible, but we do that. Um, there's some other things that I do. Being an
Humble
absolute idiot.
beginnings.
Yeah, I think we all have, right? I think the last year or so, the focus has been really on the basketball club, trying to get a more professional approach to how we do things, and I think that was evident in our AGM that we just kicked off. If you remember,
Yeah,
there
that
was
was
like a
good.
dozen.
Yeah, that was actually really well organized and ran, and we got a lot of really good people wanting to help develop basketball. So that was a really positive, whatever the term is. Event's probably the wrong thing, but meeting, really positive meeting.
Yeah, look, the AGM, there was like a dozen of us there, um, and we've done some really really cool stuff, and we've got some even more, hopefully, not just cool but impactful work to come, and that's the main thing, really. I think that's pretty much it. Is there any other thing else you want to answer? Anybody else spoken to you about anything else?
Sid dropped a nifty little 44 last night against Lanswick Major
Yeah,
after they said he wasn't going to score the whole game. So that was fun to see. Um,
you ain't stopping, Sid.
you know,
Ask
stopping Sid.
anybody in Cardiff. Ask anybody in National League as well, and wherever. Anyway,
Anything else? Mm.
no, not
Jake,
really. I think our guys need to just be better behaved and more professional when they go to these courts, because I'm getting complaints from referees every game. However you feel the referees are, just the absolute professionalism we expect as a club towards them. We're not, even though our guys look like they're hood rats, they're not. These are young professionals, run companies, directors of industry and stuff. So expect a lot more professionalism, but that's something internal that's going to have to be passed around. Uh, but I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We'll try and get this onto the usual YouTube, Spotify. Apologies if the sound's a bit crackly today, but hopefully you get the points across. And yeah, if you're involved in basketball and want to get on the pod, let us know. We do have something lined up with, I say it every week. Just wait and see, guys. Thanks for your time.
that's going to
Don't
be the
forget
running joke
to,
now.
yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time. Speak to you soon. Take it easy. Bye.